Row 18, plot 20.
Let's get dangerous.
Hey everybody, welcome to the JLAmember channel. I have a movie review for a documentary. Not usually my favorite genre of films to watch, but I did watch the latest documentary on Stan Lee that is currently playing on Disney Plus. So this is 2023. It's actually rated TV 14, so I'm not sure. It's weird that to associate Stan Lee without it. I mean, it's a documentary. Why wouldn't it be a G rating? But whatever. It's an hour and 26 minutes. It has an IMDb rating of 7 stars. This was so fun for me. The director was David Gelb. The star was Stan Lee. And what I really, really liked about this documentary was that it was narrated by Stan Lee. It's like they got together, whoever, with Stan Lee, and they did this documentary like he was preparing to have it released after he passed away. I'm not really sure. I did take some notes, but there's not really a lot of notes to give. It's not like a movie that's a spoilery kind of thing. It's about his whole life, so it's interesting to hear how he got started with Marvel Comics and even before that. I'll tell you what, he seemed to be way ahead of his time as far as like business goes and concepts. I work at Walmart. I've worked there I have 25 plus years with Walmart. So like it kind of reminded me of the golden days of working at Walmart when Sam Walton was alive. Like Sam Walton was kind of ahead of the curve when it came to retail, and he just had that personality. Stan Lee reminded me of that back at the beginning of this documentary when it was really like goal driven, people driven, give the fans what they want and make the people first kind of a thing. And as companies grow and things, that becomes less of a focus and it's more about the money, which a lot of people think Disney and Marvel is all about now. So it's kind of an interesting take, probably stupid, but it's also very cool to see how the climate of the world events were shaping the business, and how they would adapt to whatever, the Depression, wars, things of that nature, women becoming more prevalent in gaining rights, African Americans becoming more acceptable into print, and it takes a neat journey through there. So yeah, this like starts in 1950. I'm 52, and it started like the story starts like before I was even born. So like I've been alive throughout this whole thing. So it was very, very nostalgic for me. Stan Lee's speaking voice and narration is very soothing. It's like ASMR. You could just listen to him. At least I can. I could just listen to Stan Lee. He could read like the dictionary and I would be fine with that. He's kind of got an iconic voice, like James Earl Jones does for Darth Vader. Again, I really like that he was the narrator of this. A lot of times after the passing of somebody who has a big impact on pop culture, it ends up being like a bunch of different celebrities or B-listers that are sitting in a chair giving anecdotes about that person, and then they show a clip or something. And this, in my opinion, that wouldn't have worked really well. I probably still would have watched it, but if it would have been like, Tom Holland giving like a 5-minute little blurb about Stan Lee's impact on SpiderMan, or whoever, it just wouldn't have worked as well telling the story, because this was more of just a Stan Lee story. It was really about Marvel and how it went from Timely Comics to how it became Marvel, the relationship with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko in those days, and how that they just came up with the stories and how they decided to change the way things were done, and they were ahead of the times. And when I say that he was like a real big businessman, whenever he did speaking or interviews or whatever, he was really low-key subtle about how he would always mention Marvel being the leader in comic books, or the innovators or whatever. He always had something like a tagline that he just worked in, and it just was seamless. And that takes a real smart person to be able to like promote while you're doing an interview or something, like without being like so I don't know. It's not boring by any means. The only thing that was off-putting that I found out about Stan Lee, he's left-handed. Every time they showed him drawing or writing, left hand. But I do find that to be true. Some of the best artists, and even some of my artist friends, are left-handed, and it freaks me out. It freaks me out to see left-handed. Why, though? It's so dumb. So leave me some comments down below about Stan Lee. Did you care for Stan Lee? Are you a DC fan so you could care less? And do left-handed people freak you out? Why? I think low-key it's because I know that they are better artists than me. Like, I draw stick figures with my right hand, and they're drawing like comic books with their left hand. Gah, I'm just jealous.